I've been podcasting for 7 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Every single week I release a new podcast episode, and I am taking a break. So I am releasing 4 more podcast episodes, and then I'm taking the summer off, which I've never ever done before. The most I've ever taken off is 3 weeks over Christmas and New Year's. Sometimes it's 2 weeks, sometimes it's 3 weeks. That's the only break I've ever had in 7 years, and like a week here and there, but nothing consistent. So I have decided that after 311 episodes, I think, it will be a break time. But I am getting ready to record this week's podcast episode, and this week's podcast episode is a story that I have been sitting on for almost exactly a year. In 2 weeks, it'll be a year. And there's just so many stories that I want to tell on the podcast. I literally have a million notes in my phone about like, you gotta tell this story, you gotta tell this story. Sometimes they're really hard, and they're personal, or they're sensitive, or they're real, or raw, or emotional, or whatever it might be. And I'm like, I want to tell this story. It'll be impactful. It'll help people. But also, like, it's super hard for me to tell these stories sometimes. And I always, like, try to be honest. I don't sugarcoat things. I share the good, the bad, the ugly. I share when I make mistakes. I share when I stick my foot in my mouth. Like, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have done that. I'm very open with, like, sharing those things. But it's still hard. So I just wanted to share that because, you know, sometimes things are hard, but they're impactful. And this week's episode is one of those episodes. I have been dragging my feet about when I'm going to tell this episode, and kind of I have 4 more episodes before I go on break. Sorry, it'll be 313. Episode 313 will be my last episode. So I have 4 more episodes before I go on break. 3 of those episodes are episodes that I have been avoiding for the last year, but they're like big, hard hitting episodes. Like, oof, the last 2 I'm going to leave you guys with. Yeah, anyways, we'll get to that. So today I'm sitting here recording, and I've been like thinking about this episode, how I'm going to say it, details to include, details to leave out, how much detail do I go into? And I hate sounding negative about things or like bitching about things, but also I'm not like everything is positive and airy fairy la la la, like no. So yeah, I have to figure out how I'm going to word this and what I'm going to say. And I think a lot of the details I was practicing in the shower the last 2 days, I got cut off. I think a lot of the details that I was going to say and include, I'm going to leave out or like condense to one theme. Anyways, it's about spiritual sickness. All my limbs stopped working last year, and it came with a lot of lessons, and it came with so many things. Like literally my limbs stopped working. I couldn't move my arms. And I could barely walk, and I could barely hold a fork. So we're going to be talking about that, and it was kind of triggered because I'm a team of channelers. I've been talking a lot of channelers, working with a lot of channelers, talking about channelers. A channeler came in last week for a session, and she had like this crazy brain surgery and then like all of these things, and I was like, did anything change? Did you become psychic after? Did your abilities change? Did anything open up? Did you start seeing things? And I was asking her all these questions, and she was like, I never really put 2 and 2 together, but usually big spiritual sicknesses are connected to like some kind of big awakening. And in the past, my spiritual sicknesses have been like when I'm getting a new spidey sense or whatever you want to call it, something like impactful will happen in my life, like health-wise. But this time it wasn't. I didn't get any new abilities. I learned hard lessons. I'm going to stop ranting. I need to record. Go listen to the episode tomorrow if you want to hear about it. The Middle Podcast is available anywhere you listen. Meet him in the Middle March, OG.